So our producers want us to read this. What you are about to enjoy or hate is simply three friends talking football and talking out their asses. Opinions mostly is for entertainment purposes only. You may offer great insights into the NFL and perspectives no one else has. Possible side effects do include feelings getting hurt, being offended, and losing respect for one another. What's up, opinions mostly, friends, family, and faithful viewers? Thank you for tuning in to another installment of the best podcast for opinions mostly. I'm your host, Nick the Shark Herb. Sitting directly across from me is the one, the only, the special teams master himself, Mr. Joe Spallerich.
What's going on, opinions mostly? Fans, loyal listeners, and friends of the program. Thank you for tuning in to this week's episode of Opinions Mostly.
Joe, so last time we filmed, it was just me and Aaron, just doing an update. You were at the Nuggets-Kings game, huh?
Indeed, most indubiously.
Why don't you tell the audience about your experience there?
Well, the Kings lost again. That's the second time I've been to a Kings game in Denver since I've been here. Guess what? They both lost in both games. We had really good seats behind the basket. Hell of a game. Very exciting, but Kings missing some key players. Jokic going off. Combination of a couple of things like that. And, you have a Nuggets win and the Kings loss. So, just unbelievable. Unbelievable, man. It's like a jinx. Every time I go to a Kings game, ever since the Bean team, we've lost every damn game. 2023 with the I come back into town and we lose to the Washington Wizards.
Why don't you stop going to games then if you really
that's the rumor. That's the hocus pocus we're working on right now.
Is that where you're at?
That is being floated around as we speak, Nick.
Who'd you go with?
Oh, we went with the boys. The boys rocking the blue and gold of the Nuggets, antagonizing me. Those sons of bitches. But it was
what do you
time.
expect? I mean,
one of them was a Laker fan. The other two were San Antonio Spurs fans. But they decided to turn into Nuggets fans and antagonize me. I'm like, guys, chill.
How about that Lakers Celtics game, huh? What the hell?
Yeah, LeBron going down, tweaking his groin. He's expected to be out 1 to 2 weeks minimum. But Luka, guy's a game changer. The team changer, man. I don't know what Dallas GM was thinking, man. They didn't want to pay his fat ass for whatever reason, but that fat ass puts up buckets and buckets.
He needs to get a haircut too. I don't know. What is this guy doing?
He's got to get that SoCal flair, right? You know, there's plenty of barbers in Southern California. I'm sure he can get a little dye going. You know, maybe bleach his hair a little bit. You know,
something, dude. He doesn't look the part. He doesn't look the part. That's
Luka.
For sure.
Yeah. Well, give him some time. He's gonna blend right in.
Well, good. I'm glad you had at least that experience. I mean, I don't know if it was fun, but you had it. And it existed.
It is what it is.
All right. Let's run through some key free agency since, all the free agency stuff's been going on the last couple of days since our last episode. Shocking, right? Really shocking. I want to talk about the Vikings team first, believe it or not, just because there's a couple of key free agents here. So, obviously, Sam Darnold was a key free agent, and he signed with the Seahawks. How do you think Vikings fans are feeling about that?
I think Vikings fans are perfectly okay with this. He was only playing last year because of JJ's injury, and based on all the reports out of training camp, it was going to be a toss-up, a coin flip of who's going to start the season between Darnold and JJ. So, obviously, even the Vikings front office, they're putting all of their chips to JJ McCarthy to lead this team to be playoff competition for the foreseeable future.
22 years old. He's only been able to drink beer legally and alcohol for 1 year.
Let's say legally, all right?
yeah, legally for 1 year. I don't know. That'll be something to watch. I think after the year Sam Darnold had, I don't know. I wouldn't be mad if he re-signed with the Vikings for them as a Vikings person. I'm not a fan, obviously.
I think right now we both share the same sentiment as we did of the Vikings going into the season with Sam Darnold. It's like, this could be really good, but it could also be really shitty if Darnold is not developed into that guy. And sure enough, he did. So I think you and I have that same sentiment of it could be really good if JJ is ready to go. I think the Vikings fans just need to understand, and I'm sure Kevin O'Connell knows and front office management knows, is there's going to be some growing pains. There's going to be those Bo Nix game, week one, just completely lays an egg, looks like a rookie quarterback. There's going to be those
Yeah.
games. And it's going to be a growing game and growing process. But everyone said all the draft people and draft analysts and I don't know experts. Who the fuck's an expert anyway when Brock Purdy goes last in the draft? They all say if JJ McCarthy was going to be coming out in this draft class, he would be the consensus number one pick. No questions asked, no ifs, ands, or buts about it.
Well, I mean, okay. I'll be interested to see what he does. I'm kind of excited for it because I don't think it's going to be a good first year because it hardly ever is, right? So that's okay with me in my book.
All right, all right.
Shout out to Aaron Jones. He got re-signed with the Vikings, which
Re-ups.
I think is a smart play for them. This all stemmed from Sam Darnold signed a 3-year, $100.5 million deal with $55 million guaranteed,
Yo,
and 37.5 in year one to the Seattle Seahawks. And the reason that all happened all stemmed from Aaron's Raiders, who, if you could guess,
dude, I
huh?
love this transition you're doing.
Who, if you could guess, signed Geno Smith. So they got
Traded for
Geno.
Geno Smith.
Yeah,
Traded for Geno Smith.
yeah. And I mean, how are we feeling about Geno on the Raiders?
I think, I think there's something we can agree on. Geno brings stability to an unstable franchise such as the Vegas Raiders. Um, I, and he's like he's the run of the mill quarterback, like good game manager, good pocket passer, but he does everything at the C plus range. You talk about middle of the list here, but he does it at a C plus rate. So
Mm-hmm.
I think and also I think it goes back to the Seahawks with their head coach, their new GM. They want to implement their culture and their style of play. And I think they didn't want to pay Geno Smith all that money. And I don't think they also believed in him that he could take them over that hump to get them back into playoff contention. They've missed the playoffs the last 2 seasons now with him starting. Not saying it's his fault, but it
Yeah,
is somehow these win losses become quarterback stats, right? So
obviously.
I think it says it bigger that Seattle wanted to move on and implement their own style of culture. I don't know if you recall when their new head coach came in and replaced Pete Carroll, they redesigned the whole interior of the building. You didn't see any of the old regime, the old highlight of the old stars, the Legion of Boom defense, the world championships that they won during that run. I mean, they're in the casing, but you're not going to see pictures and video clips of them around. They're trying to start fresh, wipe
Well,
the slate in Seattle.
it,
So, and then also Pete Carroll came out and said they didn't believe that they were going to sign any of these top tier quarterbacks that are on the free agency market right now, such as a Sam Darnold. So I guess he just wanted to force it to get a stable quarterback to try and establish his culture.
well, I was gonna say, I think I was gonna speak to that. Like Pete Carroll being there already now, it's kind of, written in the stars, if you would, that should be where he goes and ends up. So it could be a really good thing. The vibe is there, the vibe check. It's like, all right, this kind of makes sense. But
Raiders.
I know a lot of Raiders fans aren't very happy with Geno because of his 2 good years, I guess, maybe if you want to call
I
him
I have a
that.
quote from one of our Vikings fans here, or Raider fans here.
Oh, really?
If I could find it here. Let's see here.
Hmm.
Da, da, da. After I quote this unanimous source. After a night of lots of thoughts and considerations about the Raiders trading a third-round pick for Geno to be their starting quarterback and probably giving him a 2 to 3 year contract at $40 million a year, which they did, $43.5 million a year. Fuck. That's what our guy said.
Fuck. I thought your phone like died or something. No.
Oh no. Oh, he just said fuck.
Yeah, it
But
sounds about right. That sounds like something our unanimous or unanimous Mr. Aaron would say. Oh shit, I just gave it away.
what are
All
you
right.
doing?
Anyways, moving on. Some other big news, which I thought was crazy and wild, but you apparently already knew about it, is in regards to your team, the Los Angeles Rams. Okay,
Oh,
the
this team.
Rams, the Rams, right there. They have signed Devontae Adams to a 2-year
Oh,
contract with 46 million. Okay,
oh, say that
26 million
again.
guaranteed, including a 12 million signing bonus. How
Say
you
that
feel about that?
again, Nick.
Do you love that? You love that? This guy that drops balls left and right.
Say
Only good
that
on the
from the
Packers.
mountaintop, Nick. Hallelujah.
And this
Oh
is
my goodness. Well, okay, so full discretion. I had a hunch that the Rams were definitely in the hunting for getting Devontae when he said he wanted to sign with a West Coast team, especially a
mm,
dome team or a
mm.
team that plays in a dome. So I was thinking it would be either the Rams or the Chargers. And knowing the type of offense that Jim Harbaugh likes to run, I didn't think the Chargers were gonna. Yeah, I didn't think he's going to go to the Chargers. And then there's also the thought in the back of the head if Stafford goes to the Giants and we pick up Rodgers for a year or two. That's a dual package right there, right?
No, it's
But
not. It's already been
I
proven that it wasn't, though.
oh I know I'm just saying I hypothetically if Stafford were to have gone on, I thought that would be a dual income package for the Rams was Rodgers and Tay. I love this move. This is huge for the Rams, especially moving off of Cooper Cup. Obviously the Rams believe that Tay has a lot more in the tank than Cup does, and I think Tay also has a lot to prove. You know, based off of the last couple of years he's had, and also can we give kudos to Davante Adams, who is not known for making smart decisions, starting in Green Bay, not re up on that contract and
That's true.
forcing his way out to the Raiders with his buddy, which ultimately flops because Derek Carr gets benched, and then he forces his way out to the New York Jets, and which ultimately flares out. So he finally makes a good, conscientious decision here on where he wants to play football.
I I think that he is plagued by bad luck, and I don't see this going well at all for you guys.
With
I'm just
Matthew
gonna throw that out there.
Stafford and a good
No,
offensive line and Sean McVay, the wizard, come
no.
on, come on.
The best part about all this too is like, yeah, I know Stafford, he restructured his contract, yada yada yada, but Jimmy G is returning with a 1 year deal, and back when Jimmy G was still playing on
Yeah,
the
I know.
Raiders, him and Devontae did not get along because
I
Devontae's like, I'm
get it.
tired of getting hit all the time. Blah, blah, blah. It's kind of like that's what I'm saying.
Oh,
Again,
I
I'm
get.
gonna use this
No, I
term
think.
again. Written in the stars that this man is cursed. Okay.
Look, Jimmy G is a constant professional. Okay, he will let bygones be bygones. I'm sure that it's all water under the bridge. Look who their offensive coordinator was. That Raider team was not built as good as this Rams team is, at least from the offensive line standpoint.
Yeah, but Devontae blamed him, Jimmy, for it. Jimmy
Well,
G.
Jimmy G's the backup. All right, Stafford is the guy. He is
And
the
we
dude. He is the
and,
dude.
and we know Stafford could get hurt at any time, so we got to be careful with that because
Yep.
that's mm,
So we're putting all this money on the offense, right? We paid Stafford, we paid Tay, we we signed the Bears center. He's the second highest paid center in the league at 30 million a year roughly. We have Kyron Williams, which I'm sure he's going to be negotiating a contract extension. We're putting all this money on the offense and the skill positions while
hmm
having young, and that defense is going to be top five in the league next year, guaranteed. So we have all this young, unpaid players on defense. So this draft, it tells me they're going to stack up on the offensive line. We're going to have like four levels of good left guards and left tackles, okay, to protect Stafford's blind side when they go down, okay? Because if there's one thing Rams fans have learned from last season and 2 seasons ago is when that offensive line is injured, we are fucked. All right. The fact that we were able to strive and get to the NFC semi-championship game was because of the health of the offensive line. We got healthy right at the week 6, week 7 mark, week 8 mark when we played the Vikings. We started getting our people back. Stafford did not get hit one time all the way through to the playoffs because we had an offensive line, healthy offensive line. That tells me we're gonna have 4 layers, man. The depth chart's gonna be massive, man.
that's it's interesting. I don't know. I'm not in love with the whole thing, but who am I to judge you guys? um,
Shout out,
all right.
Aaron. You got to get a Devontae Adams jersey from the Raiders, Aaron, because I'm sure you can get them for like $10. Because I'm gonna get a Devontae Adams Rams jersey, and then all three of us on Opinions Most can just wear Devontae Adams jerseys every time.
Yeah, that I mean, I don't really want to, but for the show, I guess I could. No, I
You do have
could
his
if you
jersey,
guys.
right, Nick?
Yeah, of course I do,
Okay.
but I don't wear it anymore because why would I? I got his pillow too. I got a freaking pillow with his face on it and on a Packer pillow. I don't know
I'm
why.
making an executive order here. That pillow needs to be over your left shoulder every time we do a show this season now.
No. Executive decision, my ass. All right. New York Jets, talking about the Jets now. They signed Justin Fields to a 2 year deal, $40 million with $30 million guaranteed. I kind of like this because they are a rebuild team and Justin Fields needs a home. Maybe this will work out in the long run. I don't see it working out immediately, but it'll work out in the long run, I hope, for his sake. He is a good guy. How do you like it?
He's a consummate professional as well. To your point,
Yeah.
I have this jackass Panther fan in my ear all the time. It's like Justin Fields is a flop, Joe. I don't know why you keep rooting for him and think he's going to be a good quarterback. Well, Dave, he's going to prove it in Jetland. I mean, it's going to be rough, but he's going to definitely earn every penny of that 30 million guaranteed over 2 years. To your point, Nick, rebuild situation, chance for
Hmm.
Justin Fields to maybe show what he's got and what he's worth. And it looks like we finally got a stable coaching staff with the Jets now, with Aaron
Yeah.
Glenn coming in. So let's see if we can get some sparks going with the New York Jets this season. I
I,
don't think they'll
I'm,
make it
I'm
the playoffs or anything, but incremental steps, right?
right. They're not going to make playoffs for sure, but I'm excited that at least he gets to start now and know that he has a job, unlike, with the Steelers when he was playing backup, because that was just unfortunate for him. And he
Four and
has
two,
talent,
four and
huh?
two is a starting quarterback. 4-2 starting
Yeah,
quarterback for
exactly. He
the
has
Steelers.
talent, so he should be able to, be that guy. Another notable thing I want to talk about is, at least to me, because of Tua, the Miami Dolphins. They signed Zach Wilson to a 1 year deal, which I like Zach Wilson. Okay, I know people will hate on him and stuff, but he reminds me of like a gun. He's a gunslinger. He's a good. He also has potential, right? Does he have as much potential as Justin Fields? I don't think so, but as a backup to Tua, could be dangerous.
Your point, Nick, he made strides in Denver last year as a backup
Mm-hmm.
and learning and being coached from an offensive guru of Sean Payton. So not a lot of people know this outside of Broncos country. Let's ride. He grew tremendously as a backup on the practice field, running scout squad or what do you call it? Scout team. He grew a lot and he really took a big step. So to your point, he's going to another situation with an offensive guru head coach who can grow and develop him maybe even more. Um, yeah, I think Zach Wilson still has untapped potential. We said the same thing about Sam Darnold. We said the same thing about Geno Smith. Said
Mm-hmm.
the same thing about Baker Mayfield. See where they're at. So sometimes with these quarterbacks that come out, it's a game of pinball. Where are you going to bounce to? Which situation can you bounce to that will maximize the most out of you and develop you?
Yeah. I'm rooting for him too. I mean, I kind of like the underdog young kids that like have been. It seems like in the last couple of years they've all been put on the back burner, not taken seriously, kind of just backup positions, being over losing their jobs to vets, who
They're
aren't.
taking our jobs.
Yeah, exactly. To vets who like aren't really putting up what they should be anyways, which would just dishearten you. You'd be
Hey,
like, oh my gosh, you serious right
there's
now?
one vet that did. Don't you blast him like you are. Joe Flacco, man. The Flockinator. Put it up, baby.
Yeah, okay. Anyways,
Well, 2 years he did. Two seasons ago with Cleveland, he
I
did.
want to give a shout out to Tampa Bay Buccaneers for re-signing Chris Godwin. I love Godwin, man. I know he's injury prone, like he gets hurt, but when he plays hard. He is a great compliment to that team, and I love it. 3 years, 66 million with 44 million fully guaranteed at his signing. So good for Chris Godwin. I definitely draft him in like almost like one or two leagues every single year, fantasy leagues. He's my guy.
Consummate professional, good locker room guy. He has a huge heart full of kindness and prosperity to everyone. So couldn't have happened to a better guy, especially with that gruesome leg injury that he went down with last season. But
I
hey,
know.
Tampa's keeping the crew together. Baker's still there. Mike Evans is still there. I mean, Tampa could probably still make some noise here going forward.
Yeah, and I'm talking betting now. I remember that game because if he would have caught like one more pass, I think I had him for like four receptions or whatever the hell it was. I don't remember
Go
the
figure, right?
specifics, but if he would have caught one more pass or whatever, I would have won like $600, and he gets fucking hurt, and I was like,
We should just line him up in the flat, one play, just lob it to him. All right, that's it. That's it.
yeah,
That's all he needs.
exactly, dude. I mean, that's all I needed.
He'll
And
just take a
poor
knee.
guy gets hurt. Poor guy gets hurt. All right. Moving forward, Tommy DeVito re-signed a 1 year deal with the New York Giants, dude.
Oh my!
His agent's probably stoked right now. They're gonna sell a lot of jerseys. They always do. That was wild. Do you remember when he was like
So
the hot shit?
yeah, I remember when he beat your Green Bay Packers in the
Shut
Meadowlands.
shut up. I remember when I beat you, you son of a bitch.
You think so? Your
Who
dreams
else we
don't
gotta talk
count.
about? I mean, I'm saving the Packers, which for best for last, as they say.
Uh,
We did. Do we talk? We talked about DK, didn't we?
No, we didn't. Let's bring him up.
All right. So Pittsburgh Steelers added DK Metcalf, dude. That guy's gonna be a freaking beast because he already is a beast. I was hoping he would go to the Packers, but as we know, he doesn't want to play anywhere cold, which I think is ironic because Pittsburgh is cold. We didn't
Just
make a move for him.
not firing on all cylinders up here for him.
Yeah, exactly. We didn't make a move for him. I don't know why he'd want to go to Pittsburgh over Green Bay, but there's something behind the scenes. That's how they do it. The trade will be official March 12th.
Started the league year.
Hmm?
Started the new league year.
Yep, yep, yep. So he's just waiting. I mean, he's in his spot. You love it? You hate it?
I mean, it definitely is not what the Steelers normally do. They definitely went out and made a huge swing and an aggressive move to acquire him.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be interesting seeing him and George Pickens fight for the number 14 number on the jersey.
I mean, I think Pickens would have to give it up, honestly.
Sticking to the AFC North, Nick, the Eagles traded Kenny Pickett to the Cleveland Browns for a fifth rounder.
No, perfect, because I want to talk about the Browns. That's great. That's
Okay.
a good segue. Good segue. Yeah, do you like Kenny Pickett over there?
I mean, is he better than Deshaun Watson? You know?
Yeah. No.
I mean, I don't know. It's just it seems like a lateral move to me. It's just like a very
I,
it's
I
probably just a backup quarterback move to be honest with you.
I think he's better than Deshaun Watson because Deshaun Watson hasn't done anything since his scandal. So
Speaking of the Browns, were we hoodwinked with Myles Garrett
that's what
saying
I
it
was.
wasn't about the money?
That was the fucking segue I was gonna go into. Thanks for stealing it. Yeah, it was definitely about the money because he signed a 4-year extension, 123 million guaranteed, averaging $40 million a year. He talks about how much he hates that place and how much he doesn't want to be there, and then he re-signs for 4 years.
Yeah, I don't. So was it about the money? But I guess every man has his price, right?
Well, he does have a price. It's 40 million a year.
Uh, touche on that.
That's a
Um,
no trade clause, dude.
like they're
What?
gonna be trading him, man. They're not gonna be
He's
trading
gonna
him
be
anytime
he's
soon.
gonna be there for the next 6 years, dude. He doesn't like it. That's like sending me to like Compton just to like work in guest services for some reason. I'll go to Compton and then just for the money and just be miserable. I don't want to be there.
Yeah, I know. I don't know, man. Maybe
That's
the heart-to-heart conversation he had with the owner and the general manager, maybe they just decided to they got on the same page. I guess that's the only thing I can think of.
that's
Um,
wild.
looking through here, bunch of offensive line movement. Joshua Palmer going to the Bills, 3-year deal.
Dumbbells.
Bills
Yeah.
re-upped Josh Allen for 300 million, 6 years. I think they're paying the
330 million.
I think they're paying the piper right now, seeing how expensive these quarterbacks are going to be. So they're like, fuck it, we'll just bite the bullet and pay all this money up front now before Josh Allen's going to cost us $85 million a year.
I mean, he's worth it. It
Oh,
seems
he's
like.
100% worth it. No questions asked, my guy.
Um. Okay. Let's do some Packers stuff because Packers did a couple of moves. Everybody wanted us to get DK. I know that was a big thing. We're like, oh yeah, we need someone to lead the receivers. But we did make a good move, I think, on offensive line. We hired the outside guard Aaron Banks to a 4-year, 77 million deal. He was part of the Niners squad, so I like that. I think he's going to add some more protection right there for Jordan Love. That'll help us open up our pass game. We're all hoping. McDuffie re-signed on a free agent deal. Nate Hobbs was the other big one. He's the guy from the Raiders, believe it or not.
Mm-hmm.
4-year, $48 million, 16 million guaranteed. He's our corner now, so it sounds like my boy is on his way out.
Jair, he's definitely on his way
Yeah,
out.
yeah. So that might be his replacement. Well, I guess we're kind of just playing the waiting game at this point. And then last but not least, the man that I think deserves all of our capital is Brandon McManus, dude. Let's go, boy. The greatest kicker of all time. He signed to a 3-year contract with 15.3 million and a $5 million signing bonus. I love Brandon McManus. I might even get a McManus jersey. I mean,
You
this guy,
should, man.
He beats the
Absolutely.
allegations and he beats the other teams in clutch moments. Like he's the best. No.
What was he? 41 for 42 for
Yeah,
Kips when he
something
signed with y'all?
ridiculous.
That's
Yeah,
crazy, man.
exactly. Exactly.
A
And
couple of game walk-offs too.
he's clutch too. Like he wins games. Yeah, the walk-offs, dude. I mean, that's what I want to see. That's what I want. I don't
He
want any
won.
game to be that close, but when it does, he's the guy that we need to make sure we have.
He won the super. He won that. He was on that Super Bowl team with the Broncos 2015.
And,
So.
and look, now he's going to be on the next winning Super Bowl team, the Green Bay
Oh
Packers.
gosh. All right.
So, it is what it is, baby. All right. Couple of notables on, or not couple. Let me just say, where is it? I had two. Oh, two on the Vikings, which I'm kind of interested, keeping my eye on, is safety Harrison Smith. He's lined up for free agency with the Vikings. So I wonder where he's going to go because I think he's a solid guy. I don't know what Scott's opinion is on him.
Oh, he
He,
loves him.
yeah.
He's a locker room guy, culture guy. I are the Vikings definitively moving on from him?
No, not definitively, but he is a
Okay.
key free agent who hasn't been re-upped or anything. He's sitting there right now. He's waiting.
Okay. Okay.
Him and then Cam Akers. Cam Akers, I think, is an underrated running back. He never really gets his chance, but I think if he was in the right culture, developed, that guy, he would still be something. He still has that
Another
gas.
Super Bowl winner.
That's what I'm saying, dude. These guys know how to play. They just need the right culture and they need to be developed in the correct way. Let them play, first of all. Let them make moves. Because a lot of that's not even happening.
Mm-hmm.
With the teams that they're on. All right. Lastly, let's do a couple of speculations here. You were talking about Devontae coming. What do you think's on the opposite end of that with Coop?
Coop's going to be released. They're not going to find a trade partner, and everyone knows that the Rams are essentially going to have to release Cooper Cup. Um, I see him going to a couple of teams actually. The Steelers were on that list, but now they got DK. I don't think he's going to go there anymore. I think
Yeah.
the Commandos are still in play, 100%. I think he can go there with the Commanders.
Wait, to
I
compliment Debo?
Yeah,
You saying him and Debo lined up
mm-hmm.
together?
And
McLaurin, Terry McLaurin, Scary
Scary,
Terry.
yeah, Scary Terry.
Wow.
Um,
Okay.
Another team I could see him going to would be the Cincinnati Bengals, just because they're looking for a cheap labor pool.
Okay.
I have this not going on a tangent. I have a hypothetical here how the Bengals plan to run their business. Okay, so Joe Burrow is the guy. He's the quarterback. Okay, now every 4 years they're going to bring in new wide receivers and defensive stars via the draft. Okay, and they're going to be on all these rookie contracts. Okay, and then once they expire, they'll just move on from them and then not pay them and then bring in a whole nother batch of rookie wide receivers and defensive stoppers through the draft. So they don't have to pay out these large contracts that they're all very deserving of.
Well, they got T. Higgins again. What are you talking about? And they
Oh,
still
I
got
know.
their boy Jamar.
I know. I'm just saying that they're like, all right, Joe Burrow, 4 years. These are going to be your guys. Okay. Then we're moving off of them. So make the most out of them. Okay. All right. Capiche.
That, that's a very interesting take. I don't know if I agree with it, but it's
Hey,
something.
I totally just made that up, but
It's definitely
um,
a take. No.
another team I could see Coop going to would be the Miami Dolphins. I think he would be a great complementary piece down there in Miami with Tyreek and Waddle. No questions asked. I think that'd be fantastic. And their coach
Wait,
came from
forgive
the
me if
Sean.
I'm wrong, but Tyreek's on his way out too, isn't he? Allegedly.
No, Tyreek and the Dolphins re-upped. They did
Oh, okay, I
re-up.
missed that.
They
I
did sign
totally
an
missed that.
extension. I don't know what the details were, but I definitely saw he was, and he came out and gave a whole apology about it. He's like, he of the moment stuff, like
Hmm.
Dolphins, Dolphin fans, Dolphin country, whatever their fan base, whatever they
Spins
call
up.
it, spins up. They're like, I'm here for the long run, baby. So he did kind of come back around.
Okay,
So
I missed that. Yeah.
yeah, so that's what's going on with Cup. Unfortunately, I don't know. Maybe it's just a situation of releasing him 1 year early instead of 1 year late. That kind of one of those situations what I'm speculating on. But hey, Super Bowl winner, MVP, Super Bowl MVP as well. So yeah, we had some good times with him.
How about lastly, wrap this whole thing up. Now that Justin Fields is on a 2 year with the Jets, Aaron, your boy.
Hey, Aaron, I think all signs lead to Pittsburgh now. No questions asked. I think everything leads to Pittsburgh. The affinity he has with Mike Tomlin, and they have a good offensive line. They have receivers now. I expect them to draft
DK,
a running
yeah,
back. Yeah, DK Najee. They'll probably re up on Najee. Maybe if not, they're going to draft a replacement. So I
yeah.
think all signs point to Pittsburgh for Aaron Rodgers. Now that the Raiders got their quarterback, Seattle got their quarterback. Um, the Steelers are left at the altar right now, waiting for someone. Um,
I could see him being a Steeler actually.
I think so. Um,
He's
I
used to
got.
that environment, used to that weather, used to that
Oh yeah,
culture. Yeah.
100%.
A winning team, I mean, a winning coach.
I got a wild
There's
card
a
for
little
you.
turmoil with some of the Steelers fans calling for Tomlin's head, but
Yeah, I mean, I,
that
I
still
think
doesn't make a lot of sense to me. Yeah. He's
I
still
think it could
solid.
work. I think it could work.
Yeah.
Because the culture is established in Pittsburgh. It's not like they're bringing in someone to establish the culture like the Jets did with Rodgers. So Rodgers basically has to walk the line of the steel curtain if he wants to be in Pittsburgh. So that's what a lot of former GMs and coaches have been talking about when they're asked, like, would you want Aaron Rodgers on your team? And the response is, well, it depends. Is my culture already established or not? If my culture is already established, then Rodgers has to fall in line. If it's not established, you probably don't want to sign him unless you truly believe in the culture you're building internally. Um, I got a wild card for you, Nick. Von Miller. He was released from the
Yeah.
Bills.
Poor Vaughn. He can like never find a real home, it seems like, ever since he left your not your Broncos.
Oh no, the Rams were his home, man. I mean, him and Donald could have been dominating for the next 3 years
I
after that
know,
Super
but
Bowl
he
win.
didn't find the home. That's what I'm saying. Like that's not his home.
That was his home.
He's just bouncing around. And you know what? We would take him. Packers would take him. He would fit in pretty well there.
I'm curious if Dallas would take a swing on him.
No, I want him and Rashawn Gary to be like monsters.
I get
Dallas?
it, but he's from Dallas. He's from Texas, so I'm curious if going to the star, and star power. Jerry Jones wanted to keep the Cowboys relevant. Star name Von Miller, in the star on the side of his helmet.
Okay. I could see him wearing his glasses there, you know.
Oh, his
That he,
cowboy hat. He'd be walking in every day with his cowboy hat. No questions asked.
um we forgot to talk about Josh Sweat going on a 4 year to the Cardinals for 76.4 mil.
That's a big pickup for the Cardinals. They're going to
Yeah.
need all the help they can get.
I was gonna say
Uh,
defensively, yeah, that's gonna be pretty good for them.
mm-hmm. uh, Zach Ertz got re-up with the Commandos as well.
Yeah, the Ertz.
The er,
He used to be hot shit too for fantasy. Used to be. I don't know, he's been kind of slow lately, but
just getting
um
older.
I think the thing that like after okay, any more that we gotta talk about? Because I got one closing final
I think
sentence.
those are all the headliners, the day one headliners. I think we're going to see some more dominoes drop tomorrow, but obviously smaller names.
Mm.
I think Aaron Rodgers is probably the last one. I think also we got to figure out. I think the Giants' lack of activity at quarterback tells me they're probably going to go with Cam Ward or Shadur, whoever's available in the draft.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that makes sense. Well, my closing sentiment, my closing thought is I like the Seahawks signing Sam Darnold, and I think that that's going to be really good for them. But now
100%.
I'm interested in seeing their wide receiver game because obviously Lockett and Metcalf are both gone. So what weapons can they give Sam Darnold to make their Super Bowl run? You know, that's what the biggest thing that I'm going to watch. I think this season or this off season.
Well, they do have that wide receiver with the double nickname or the double
Yeah,
last name,
the Jigba Smith. Yeah,
Nick Jigba. So obviously
yeah.
he kind of is the default one. This draft isn't wide receiver heavy like years
Mhm.
prior. But they can probably find someone in the third or fourth round to help and grow and develop. But there wasn't a lot of big name wide receivers on the market this year,
Yeah. It's gonna be an interesting draft. That's for sure.
unless they want to go for Cooper Cup. But yeah, I don't know, man. It'll be interesting for sure.
Cooper, Darnold, what's the equivalent? I mean, he had Justin Jefferson, but he's gotten a Jigba, like you said, so that would be Justin Jefferson.
Yeah, Addison, Higby. I mean, their tight end. Totally forget his name.
Not is it Font? No.
No, the Vikings. The Vikings. Tight
Oh,
end.
oh, oh.
TJ Hawkinson. There you go.
There you go.
And
Yeah,
you're thinking of Noah Fant on the Seahawks. That'll be a good piece. He's still a good piece, Noah Fant.
yeah. He's hit or miss, but when he hits hard.
There you go. Yeah, that's a good play for it.
Yeah, yeah. All right, sweet. What else? What else you got, Joe? Any closing thoughts that you want to get out of your brain?
Uh, I think with the moves that the Rams have made so far this offseason,
Oh my
not
God.
even including the draft, are we getting ready to use the C word with them?
No,
Contender?
no, no.
NFC contender? Because they were the only ones that gave the Eagles a run for their money in the playoffs. And
They
we were right there, man.
Devontae is
I don't
not
want
going to
to
be that guy.
I don't want to float it around, saying, "Oh yeah, Rams are winning it all this year. Contender, baby. Let's dial it in." But I'm kind of flirting with that word right now, if I'm being honest with you, Nick. That C word is sounding a little compelling. You can put us
Yeah.
up there with the Eagles, the Packers, the
If
Lions, in that tier in the NFC.
if by
Um,
C word you mean chodes, then yes, you would be correct. No.
oh, God, I'm flirting with that word. I mean, honestly, with you, man. And the Rams, what they do well is hit in the draft. So, let's
Okay,
see what's going on.
Devontae is 32 years old. Okay, he's
All
our age.
right, all
Okay.
right.
Okay, first of all, he let's see. I'm going through his stats here real quick. He had 18 touchdowns with the Packers in 2020. Okay. That's his biggest year for touchdowns. He had 14 touchdowns with the Raiders in 2022, which isn't too bad. Isn't too bad. Then he dropped to 8, then he dropped to 1, and with the Jets he had 7 with Aaron Rodgers, his long lost pal. You think that he's going to put up more than 10 touchdowns this season?
I'm glad you brought these stats up, Nick. You walked right into my trap.
Oh, motherfucker.
If you break down if you go into your little pooper machine there with your stats and analysts there, if you break it down to his stats for the last 7 games, he had over 50 catches and completions, over 1,200 yards, total yardage. And I think
Mm.
you said 7 tutties,
Yeah, with the Jets, yes.
7 tutties. Okay. I don't know if that's the last, I don't know if that was, yeah, that's the whole time he was there. I don't know if that was the last 7 games, but what I saw the last 7 games was he was definitely a dialed in wide receiver. And that's why I said I believe someone's definitely going to pick him up this offseason. And no questions asked. It was
You
Vamos
got
Ramos.
Yeah, yeah. All right. Well, that's definitely something to watch. I don't know. I love Adams, don't get me wrong, when he was a Packer. And I don't know. Everything else after that was just not satisfactory to me. I
Oh,
remember the glory days, dude.
one more thing we need to point out: the Chicago Bears have been stockpiling uh linemen this free agency period. I think they had the
Okay.
highest paid center. They
Mm.
signed their left guard. They've been prying players from other teams. So, uh, what's the name of their head coach? It's
I don't give a shit. Why would
well
I care
he
about
well him coming
Why
from the
would I care
Lions,
about that?
him coming from Detroit, he understands how to build a good team and it starts in the trenches. So the Bears starting off,
Ben Johnson. Ben
Ben
Johnson.
Johnson, thank you. Ben Johnson knows how to build a team. Saw it firsthand. The Bears are building their team through the trenches. So that's
Nah.
I think that's a very underrated move right now.
Yeah, yeah. Well, it's gonna be wrong. It doesn't matter. It's trash.
Hey, Nick, I'm a Packer fan. It's trash. Bears are trash.
The Bears are trash. I mean, they are. Historically, they're just trash, okay?
Yeah,
Recent
you're not
history, they're
wrong.
trash.
Just don't talk about 85 or 48. All right, the 85 Bears are the 48
Oh my
Bears.
God. Yeah, yeah. Okay, stupid. I won't because that was so long ago. I wasn't even fucking born. Why? Why would I bring that shit up?
Let's go.
I mean, wait, 85. When did my parents get married? I don't even think my parents are married yet. No, I'm just,
Oh shit, 85? Yeah, probably. Who knows, right?
that's what I'm saying. Damn. Anyways, okay. Good shit. Pick one team way too early predictions to win the Super Bowl. Yeah, okay. I should have known. Besides the Rams.
Well, you can't count out the Eagles, obviously.
Hmm.
Can't count out the Bills. Um, Obviously the Chiefs are still there. They didn't really make. They signed a couple of linemen actually today. They did sign a couple. Um, the Rams, you got to put them there. We'll see if the Packers can do. Maybe getting another wide receiver or something, or a leader of the room, as Josh Jacobs and Tucker Kraft are putting it. Um, and maybe if Jordan Love takes another step or two, we'll see with
I'm
the Packers. Wait and see there. The upper
so
tier though, for sure.
Basically, or based solely on being correct because of the Super Bowl logo, it's going to be the Green Bay Packers. There's green gold.
Oh yeah, we got to break down the conspiracy here. Well, I mean, there's a lot of colors in this. They learn. They learn
They
that we're
switched,
picking
yeah.
up on it here.
Yeah,
So they
but
were
it's
like,
still
"Fuck it,
green and gold.
we'll put
Green and gold,
all
and
the
then
colors
pink.
in there."
What the hell's the pink about? Like that doesn't even make any sense. Who's
Breast
pink?
Cancer Awareness Month. I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. All for the Super Bowl? No, that's not the same.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm
We'll
telling
have to
you.
break down that conspiracy for sure.
Go Pack, go, baby. This is Jordan Love's year. Anyways. All right. If you watched this far, we appreciate it. Like, comment, subscribe, share with a friend. We appreciate you guys being here. Joe appreciates it. Aaron appreciates it. We appreciate it. I'm going to say it one more time. We appreciate it. We hope that you send us some questions, and we're going to talk some more football in the offseason. Huh, Joe?
You are appreciated. You are appreciated. Say that to yourself in the mirror 3 times, listen to viewers. You are appreciated, said Joe from Opinions Mostly.
Self-positive talk. I love it. All right. Thanks for watching, guys. Until next time, Opinions Mostly, baby.